Well, hello everybody. I just kind of made this up as I went along based on a few things that I'd seen online. Uh, the bushing or the seal that I have to replace on the Jeep, the main one, is this guy right here. It's got multiple part numbers and everything, but that's the main part number right there. Just a El Cheapo. But this right here is your saving grace. This is the bushing that is required for this because it is identical in size. As you can see, it's right here. Now you're wondering, well, why has it got such a big hole in the middle? It won't do anything. Well, you gotta assemble this because there is no company in the world that makes this exact, tool. I've got myself an old bracket from my leaf spring attachment. Your U-bolts go on here. That's your center pin. I've got all thread, and this is, half-inch all thread with 2 nuts on the end. These are your locking nuts. This is what you're holding on to while you spin this to tighten this against your hub there, because you're going to take out your axle, and this is going to go right against your knuckle, because this is big enough to cover your knuckle without it slipping in, and you don't need some big 20-pound weight or whatever like some videos have. I've got it wrapped in this green tape. This is actually for weightlifting and stuff. You wrap up your weights so that you have a good soft grip. But I did this to protect the inside of my shaft from these threads. Okay, so how this works is you've got your large washer that fits just inside of this, but it doesn't go inside the rubber. You've got 3 washers that go inside the rubber. You've got this large bushing, machinery bushing, that is the exact diameter of this steel. So it will ride on that. So you got your piece of steel washer right here. It fits identical. So you do not have to worry about anything. I mean, look how close that is. I mean, that is right on there. So when you're tightening this in, this is pushing right inside. Now you're wondering, well, what about that? You've got your next size. It's a slightly larger, and then you have another one of these washers to fill the gap so your nut doesn't go through. Because if you don't have this last washer on here, if you don't have your last washer on there, that nut slips through that. It slips through, and it makes it difficult. But you've got your main washer, that little washer there, these 2 washers. This will go like so. But you see how that fits in there? That one fits in there so it doesn't fall out the back. This guy slips on here, and he fits into that washer right there. Fits in. See, that keeps it centered in there. This big washer this is your strength. This is where you get all your pushing power. That's what supports those other washers. This guy holds that there, and then your nut fits on the back. And then when you tighten this in, it pulls this seal center into the hub, and that bit, this bushing right here, this is what pushes that in equal and level. So you don't have to worry about, you know, it going one way or the other, or having to tap it in. All your sizes work together to get that in there. Now what I'm going to do is these I got all these from the hardware store, and as you can see, I already ran them through as a test to see if they fit properly in the axle. But I'm going to do this. 1 3/4 inch, 1 1/4 inch, 2 1/8, 2 inch. So you can have 4 of these, 1 of these, and 1 of each of these. So you got this guy goes in here, in here, in here. Then this guy slips right over the top. See how that works? And then this guy's your pushing power, but you see how that hole is? So you need to fill that hole. And that's how that goes. So you have all of this pushing force. All this holds this exactly center and level inside the axle shaft. This is your backing plate. I mean, this is cheap. You can get these for a couple bucks. But this here. This is where the money is. So from that end to this end, you're looking at about 28.5. So you can get all thread, you know, a 3-foot section. You can get a 3-foot section. I just cut this one off of a 6-foot section as far as I needed it for like a handle here. But get yourself a 3-foot section of 1/2 inch all thread. You're gonna need 2 nuts, 1 nut, 1 nut, 1 nut. So in total, you got 3, 4, 5 nuts and a stack of washers. Those are your washers. You get those, and you can swap out this inner seal. Now, my plans for the future is to tack weld these 3 together, center it on this, tack weld these 3 to this, so this is all one piece, and then tack weld this guy to this guy, so it's one piece, and then just leave this as a floater so that it can, you know, adjust for the distance on these. Because if I tack weld this guy to here and keep it like that, it might be, you know, a 1/16 of an inch off because it has that lip. So I want to keep this as a floater, but I want to weld all these guys together and weld these 2 guys together. But that's eventually down the road, I guess. Another thing I'm looking at is possibly tack welding the 1 nut on the back here, and then leaving this guy free to go so that I can just use the one nut and keep it going. And then this guy, I have it set where it needs to be, you know, tack weld it in there so that I have this. So I'll just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tacks to keep it all together as one tool. But Yeah, I know there's videos out there of people explaining it, but as I said, you've got 2 1/8, 2-inch. There you go. Those are your measurements. Now all of these things, minus this, all of these were stainless steel. The nuts were stainless steel, so this is by the pound. And then the rod and this. So the rod was probably about $9. This was a piece that I had left over, but these are like $5. And then this all here was like $3. So instead of spending the $90 for the one that's on Amazon that everybody has bad reviews about, you could spend, you know, maybe $30 altogether, including the part, and get this all set up. Now you can get these machine bushings in the Hillman drawers by the single, but it's $3. For $4, you can get a 3-pack. So, I mean, would you rather spend $3 for one or $3 for 3? That's my whole opinion on it. But that's how you're gonna put that together.